Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another day, another album. It is a brand new day. Let's go see what the RNG machine says we're talking about today. What's the music? Alright, so we're starting the week off strong with a nostalgic favorite of mine, Wishmaster by Nightwish. Nightwish is a Finnish symphonic metal band that first formed in 1996 and I believe are still ongoing, with their most recent album to date being released in 2020. Their unique selling point for me is their operatic singers they've had throughout their career, with this album being sung by their original vocalist. Tar name is going to be up here. They're apparently the most successful international act out of Finland, selling over 9 million records internationally. If you're a YouTube OG, you may even recognize Ghost Love's score from everyone using it as the standard cinematic dramatic music. It's a song that a lot of people have heard before without necessarily knowing the name of the song itself. Nightwish are also a pretty big part of my own childhood. While I wasn't as into music as I am now, I used to play this album religiously on CD, and when I re-listened to it a few months ago, I could still remember just about every song. This will definitely color my opinion, but I also can appreciate the theatrics of their performances across this album. Wishmaster is a solid mix of symphonic and metal, with vocals carrying a lot of the identity for the project. The opening track, She Is My Sin, lets you know exactly what you're going to be in for, with the catchy riffs, chugging drums, and the amazingly sung vocals. The song is relatively simple subject-wise, but delivered so well that I can't help but absolutely love this opening track. The guitar solo is especially great, leading to a great symphony solo afterwards. It is all a little melodramatic in kind of an Evanescence-y way, but the entire album kind of is too, so if you're not vibing with it, this project is not going to be for you. The opener of The Kinslayer keeps the energy going with some sticky riffs in the intro, along with great orchestral accompaniment. The vocals at the start of this actually remind me a lot of King Gizzard's most recent album, with the monstrous lyrics of some kind of dark force that unsympathetically kills all. The moment after the first verse is actually my favorite part of the song, with all the instrumental solos that go absolutely so fucking hard, leading to a great bridge featuring some male backing vocals along with the main vocalist. And it really adds to the epic, fantastical feel of this album. The keys at the start of Come Cover Me do provide a great moment of soft contrast, especially with the flute into the intro. This song doesn't go quite as fast as the previous track, but the instrumental melodies here are catchy. And spoiler alert for the rest of this project, I don't think there's a bad vocal performance on this entire album, and this song is absolutely no exception. The song also boasts some great instrumental solos, really breaking with a lot of traditional song structure. I love the guitar riff in Wanderlust. It plays really well along the piano, and it just kind of impresses me to hear. I'm not sure if it's particularly difficult to play since I don't play guitar, but it does sound difficult. This song really picks up the pace of the album in a great way, and I really like the synths in this song. I don't normally notice them because of all of the everything else happening in the song, but here I think they add a distinct, lighter feel from how heavy all of the other instruments sound on the track. Two for Tragedy is maybe the weakest moment on the album, but I will say it is not a bad song. The vocals are still theatric and powerful, the symphony matches the tone of this quiet ballad beautifully, giving one of the best symphonic notes on the album. For me, it's the metal elements, like the drums and the kind of light riffs that bring the song down a little bit. Also, the guitar solo here was kind of boring, which is a shame for how standout they are throughout the rest of this album. The solos by all the instruments are normally pretty goddamn solid. The album does pick up immediately after with the title track Wishmaster, which turns every element of the band up to 11. The guitar riffs are some of the catchiest, the strings of the symphony really add to the epic feel of the song, and the drumming, it is at its most impressive, which I could say because I am a drummer. And the vocals? Oh god, the vocal is really pushing herself here, and it pays off in dividends. The guitar solo plays off the drum rhythm incredibly on the track, and this all makes one of the best Nightwish songs I've ever heard, and apparently the most streamed song from this project. There's also a live version of this song on the album at the end, and it is one of my favorite live songs of all time. That is a pure nostalgia opinion, but I do think it is a great recording and a worthwhile listen. Bear Grace Misery is one of my favorite deep cuts from the album, where I feel like many of the songs here stand out when the intensity is turned up. This song I think shows the band most in sync with each other. Every element of the song feels like it's playing off another element, and the vocals here are a lot more dynamic, mixing softer moments with some more typical operatic standouts. Crownless is maybe the most electronic sounding song on the album, or at least one of the most electronic sounding songs, with the synth and guitar riff at the opening pushing the speeds of this song to ridiculous levels. This is some seriously great sounding guitar work on this song, some of the most impressive on the album. The vocals are maybe the weakest point of the song, however, once again, they're not bad vocals. But it does sometimes feel like the longer operatic notes are playing catch up with how fast this instrumental is. Either way, still a great song. Deep Silent Complete is a vocal showstopper of a track at the start. But that mood is immediately destroyed with the guitar melody and the usual trucking riffs. It's a very jarring moment on the song that does kind of feel like a letdown at first, but the vocals do mesh better with the instrumental with time. The instrumental after the second verse makes up for most of my issues with the start of the song, with the phased and spaced out guitars being a great change up to the usual formula so far. Dead Boy's Poem is the second longest song on the album, and in my opinion, this is the album's best ballad. The vocals here take center stage as the instrumental crescendos more naturally here as opposed to the previous track. Even when the guitar and drums come in, they're nowhere near as jarring. This song has a lot of great contrast throughout the track, which is very necessary by this point of the album. As I said, best ballad on the album, especially impressive considering how long the song is and how it uses that length to its benefit. Phantasmic synths open the longest song on the album, running at a full 8 minutes with accompanying suites for the length. The first part sports a solid vocal melody and some great backing drums, and a great breakdown at about the 2-minute point. The instrumental solos lead to the second, more quiet and intimate section of the song, which lets the vocals really stand on their own with some quiet strings backing. The guitar solo here fits the slower, more fantastical moment that this song is going for, speeding up into a motherfucking flute solo that actually kicks ass. And after some colossal riffs, the first section's melody return to close this epic of a track. I don't know how they made an 8-minute track like this work so well, but they really did. The closer, Sleepwalker, leans the most into the electronic elements at the start, and leans a bit more actually into psychedelic rock a bit, with the phase synths and the almost kinda hip-hop sounding drums. This is probably the weirdest note they could have closed this album on, but I still think the sounds here play along with each other well. It is still an odd choice for a closer, but I think that's kind of what I respect about it. Wishmaster is an entertaining lesson in how to meld symphonies with metal, and while other groups like Metallica have done this concept as well, and done it well, the nostalgia stranglehold this album has on me will probably never make them sound better than this project. Wishmaster by Nightwish is a 9 out of 10 and currently sits at number 57 on the list. Be sure to let me know your favorite Nightwish song in the comments, and I'll see y'all for the next review. Pieces.